concerning the protest wey go happen on August 1st to August 10th. They don't bring Omoyele Sowore come one TV station with one girl wey be like say Lagos state government don't pay the gate. Omo, you cannot miss this video. Watch how Omoyele Sowore take advise this girl. Say she go spoil her future by taking all this small thing from government. Say she too small for this thing where she come talk. Omo, me I pity the girl sha. Watch as Sowore take advise this girl. Say make she no spoil her future. You know, come end there, Sowore again come blame the TV presenter. Say why they no do their background check well before they come carry this small girl come national television, come embarrass herself. Make una watch the video, but before that time, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We're joined by a distinguished panel of guests. Our very first guest for today is Mr. Omoyele Sowore. He's a renowned politician and activist, and he joins us live via video chat. And also here in the studio is Kundayo Titilayo Dorcas, who is the chairperson of the National Female Student Association of Nigeria, NF-SAN, Lagos chapter. Each of them will bring their unique perspectives to the table, and they're going to be offering us some insight into the complexities of youth activism and government response in today Nigeria. Again, many thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. First off, I want to come to Mr. Sowore, who's joining us via video chat. Good morning, sir. Thank you once again. Big question is, are the youth ripe for dialogue? What do you think, sir?
Well, I wanted to first and foremost thank you for bringing me on your show this Sunday, and also very quickly correct the earlier impression in your intro that the protest is waning because some people, as you claim, are withdrawing. That is not correct. The protest is not waning, except if you are not listening to the right channels. The people you claim are withdrawing are people who were never part of the protest in any way, form, or nature. They are the people the government cobbled together, people who were largely paid or misinformed and asked to go out and try to demobilize the public. That is not new in the history of protest. Now you talk about dialogue. Protest itself, and hear me out, is a form of dialogue. The difference between dialoguing generally, physically, and the dialogue that is conducted by protest is that protest dialogue is louder, and it is the best way to dialogue with the deaf. When I mean deaf, the Nigerian government or most African government are tone deaf. So if you're sitting across the table from them and not listening to you, it is when they know that the people are not going to accept whatever they are rubbing over their heads that they start to listen to you. And the communication at that point, the dialogue is stronger, it's more powerful, it's more potent, and more effective. So protest itself is dialogue. I just want to clarify that. But in this case, dialogue doesn't come first as you are trying to define it. The protest has its own set objective. We have an agenda, we have demands, we have clear and stated deliverables. We also have a timeline for which when the process will start, and the first number of days it will take, and possibly several other days that will follow until the conditions are met. So this is a very well organized protest that is driven by data and is driven by technology and total commitment from a lot of Nigerians, both youth, young and old.
Mr. Sowore, it makes me wonder, right? I wonder what you think about these bodies and civil societies and organizations who are, removing themselves and withdrawing support for the protest. What are your thoughts on those groups?
I've just addressed them. I don't know them. There's a lot of groups in Nigeria, armed force groups. Some of them don't exist except when there is a sabotage to be done. Some of them exist just created what you call special vehicle NGOs And some of them are called NGIs, non-governmental individuals. So whenever there's an opportunity, these opportunities will show up and capitalize on it and make some quick bucks from it and move on with their lives. What I'm saying to you is that they were never part of any conversation. I've seen some of them. They were never part of those. You cannot pull out from a protest you're not part of the plan for. But you can say that you don't want protest. And that is their right too. It's, they have a right to express a divergent opinion about how the rest of us, or a majority of Nigerians, want to go about addressing their social, political, and economic concerns.
Well,
Okay.
Mr. Sowore, I'm going to let you know that I'm going to warn you that this might spill over into the next hour because we have so much to discuss. We're also going to take a break somewhere in the middle here. But we do have the chairperson of one of those bodies here with us inside of the studio. I will direct a question to her only after we get back from this break. Let's take a short break. Back to this discussion in a minute.
As we've been asking the very pertinent question, which is protest or dialogue, which is the answer to good governance? And joining us live in the studio is our guest. We've been discussing with them from earlier on. On Zoom is Mr. Sowore. He's a politician and activist, and he joins us live via video chat. Mr. Sowore, many thanks for being patient and joining us. We also have with us live in the studio. She is Ekundayo Titilayo Dorcas. She's the chairperson of the National Female Student Association of Nigeria and a SAN Lagos chapter. We also did have earlier Mr. Boyega Akoshile, who's the essay to the governor of Lagos State on media and publicity. I'm sure he's going to join us.
Yeah, he'll be rejoining us
this
soon.
Conversation.
Just before we went on that break and then the news, I did say that we're going to come back, and also we have representing one of the bodies that have pulled out of the protest here with us, and that's talking about Ms. Titilayo here in the studio. But before that, we also talked about something. I wanted to go back to the conversation from Mr. Sowore regarding the groups, the faceless groups, in quote, who have dropped out. However, Mr. Sowore, I just wanted to read some of the groups that have joined, or rather that have dropped out. And we're talking about groups like the National Association of Lagos State Students, the National Association of University Students, the Lagos State Chapter, National Association of Polytechnic Students, and also, to name a few, National Female Students Association of Nigeria, of which we have the chairperson here with us by name of Titilayo Ekundayo. So I'm going to be asking Titilayo now a very interesting question, which is, first off, let's get your take on this. Why exactly is your association pulling out of the mass protest for August 1st?
All right, good morning. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate this program. And secondly, my association is actually pulling out of this protest because we have no association with the set of people who organize this protest.
Who are the people organizing the protest?
We don't even know them in
So why did you say you don't have association with them?
Yeah, because they call themselves Nigerian youths and they are centering their protest to Lagos. And Lagos is a peaceful state. I am the chairperson of the female students here in Lagos State, and we have the 3 C's. Before we can confront, we need to consult and consolidate. And after consulting and consolidation, I don't think we have the potential to go into confrontation, which is the protest.
Don't you think that Lagos has this main character energy that it constantly has? The conversation about protests has been on a nationwide stance. If that means, because we saw the governor call traditional rulers from all the geopolitical zones in Nigeria, we saw them call all the chief heads. We saw them, they saw the presidency speak to all of the governors from the APC forum. So why do you think it's just only Lagos? Because I noticed that the entire groups who have pulled out are mostly Lagos chapters.
Yes, mostly Lagos, because here in Lagos, I don't think there is this much hardship here in Lagos. Because
so there's no hardship in Lagos?
Yes, there is, but I think the governor has been working towards that, because recently there is something like Onjeiko that the governor put in place for all Lagos states to be able to benefit from it, thereby reducing the hardship in Lagos.
So you think that Lagos is insulated from the hardship that they...
No, don't quote me there.
No, you said, no, I'm not misquoting. I want to be clear, because you said Lagos is not experiencing hardship like the rest of Nigeria.
Yes.
That's what you said.
Yes.
And then you said that the Lagos has been doing initiative. One of them is Onjeoko.
Yes.
So I asked again, so does that mean that we're insulated from the rest of the things that Nigerians are facing.
Yes.
And so you don't think that Lagosians were
Yes,
out protesting?
yes, because looking at it, there have been more protests in Nigeria and it hasn't led to anywhere. Rather, we have vandalization of the government's properties. Some of the protests that happened years back, we have the protests during the June 12th, we have the protests during Goodluck Jonathan's regime, and this recent protest of the NSAS, which most of our youth actually died. So I would think, instead of the youth going into the protest, why not form a body and have a tete-a-tete with the government? Because during dialogue, it's still better than this protest whereby we'll be losing our youth.
Mr. Sowore said that most of the youth, most of the groups that pulled out are groups that are just formed. How long has your association been on?
The association has been on here for over 5 years.
So it's been existing for 5 years?
Yes.
So if I count that back, that should be 2019?
Yes.
How long have you been in school?
I got admission in 2019, so I'm in my final year.
So you're among the organization that formed it?
No,
That's
I
why
wasn't
you're the
part of the
president.
organizations that formed it,
So
but I'm a member of the association.
When did you assume presidency of the organization?
I assumed my position January this year
right,
as the
thank you.
chairperson.
Thank you so much.
I'm very curious as to exactly what other things your association had been or is known for doing from before now. But let's come back to Mr. Sowore. Mr. Sowore, so now the question is if the youth are ripe for dialogue. However, many bodies have called for the youth to have well, at least an agenda, a request. What exactly are they looking? Sort of like a destination. After all, how do you know where you're going, or if you've gotten to where you're going if you don't have a destination? What do you have to say regarding this request for a list of demands from the youth?
Well, let me first and foremost respond to the station and the young lady, Titilayo. I don't think it's fair, and I mean it, to be throwing young persons like this who are still at formative ages of ideas in national issues the way you have done it. It's unfair to her. Apparently, if somebody just didn't even properly prep her and you just throw her on national TV, the whole world is going to be watching. Some years down the line, this person is not going to feel happy that she's unable to defend her. So she has already said it, in all fairness to her, that they were not part of the planners, that they don't know them, and that the planners are faceless. So, and that was what I was saying earlier, that they were not part of the people who planned this. They weren't part of, they don't even know what it's all about. You know, somebody just asked them to go to your state studio and go and debunk something, and she's struggling with this. And instead of being upset with her, I'm upset with the station for not doing their background job. Bring people who understand what national issues are. These are young persons whose future I am trying to protect. As she has told you, she just got into university 2019. By 2019, I was already in detention under the Buhari regime. She's new to all these issues. She's new to the troubles of Nigeria. And there's no point throwing these little interesting young people before national audiences where they will look back years later, their children will start blaming them. Mommy, why did you do this? Why did you allow yourself to be put before national audience without preparing yourself or understanding even what the issues are? So having said that, the demands are clear. This station has read the demands before to me. The entire country is aware of the demands. On our side, we presented 15 clear demands. I would say that non-negotiable. And all of this has been available to the government. And I also wanted to let you know that we actually began relating with the government on certain aspects of procedures for the protest. We got a lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mwade Borua, who was a former student union president of Obafemi Awolowo University, to write to the police and the DSS, asking them to submit the names of DSS and police officers or the army who are going to be involved. The army has no business, by the way, in engaging in any form of process in this protest. The army has no business in internal affairs of the country. But we'll talk about that later. And he has written to them. Our Abuja colleagues also wrote to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to allow the protesters to camp out at the Eagle Square. So these are all procedural formats that's going to lead to August 1. So when they are saying people are faceless, how can somebody be faceless and they write to the minister? How can somebody be faceless and they have a senior advocate of Nigeria writing to the IG of police, who has also responded because they know these groups are not faceless. These are very credible, high integrity individuals who want to protect the future of our young people, including the lady you had on the armchair in your office, who, by the way, I appreciate for coming here today.